Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. Together with these great partners, we are able to bring you quality information to help you reach your whitetail habitat goals quicker but more proficiently. Northwoods Whitetails, Plot Doctor, Harper Growing Solutions, Scent Thief, Real Wood Productions, Ace Hardware of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Guys, what I've got this morning is we're going to be talking about one of those topics, to help us get to the finish line quicker. Like I always say, I build these videos for like-minded folks just like you and I to help us all get to the finish line, just get there quicker, more proficient. And today, guys, we're going to keep this one simple because it's very simple, but boy, is it a powerful piece of the puzzle. What we're talking about today, guys, is building a bullpen, building a kill plot for this season's attack on that target buck. So what we're doing, guys, as you can see, I'm in here early this morning before the heat gets up, and we are creating what I refer to as a bullpen. Now, a bullpen is just that. I kind of coined that name years ago. It's a way to make a shot plot, a kill plot for a buck. So I'm going to kind of walk you through this process here, guys. I've got this, our 60-acre partial here, here in central Kentucky that we've got, and I'm making a bullpen here. Why I build these bullpens, guys, right? So these bullpens are a very, very attractive piece, but they have to be kept small. They are a shot plot, right? But they're not a shot plot that the conventional shot plot, like you see, or you think, right? You see. They're not built on the end of a food plot. What they are, guys, is they are secluded away from that food plot on the line of travel, just off the transition, or the transition runs right into the end of this one. And as we're talking here, I'll slide up this way. Comes in the end of right across the end of it here, and you put the licking branch. We're going to add a water hole to this one. And what this is, guys, is we're going to run kind of like turkey feet, if you will, 3 legs off from these back towards the core that are buck cruising corridors and have buck bedding pockets at the end of them. And all of 3 of those, this is one that we've got started here, and then we're going to have another one there, but they all end up directly at the point of impact. And I'll show you this one from above on the aerial, guys, so this makes sense. But what these are, guys, these bullpens, the reason I named them a bullpen is because, to me, it's a lot like, if you're a baseball fan, this will resonate with you. If it's what these are, is they're the last place that the bucks will stop in the morning before they go back to bed, and they're the first place that they stop to come out to water and grab a bite to eat. Just a clover and rye, or clover and chicory little shot plot here, right? Grab a bite to eat and a mouthful or 2, and they're gone. It's not a stagnant plot, so you can get away from it. So it's a hunting plot. The reason, like I said, I call them the bullpen is because what I've found over the years is I started studying how they react to these. And what you'll see in the morning, guys, like I said, it's the last place they stop in the morning, right? You'll see them come in, they'll use the licking branch right here, and their ears are down, they're kind of droopy, pre-rut on, right? Kind of droopy. They've been out running all night, you can tell, and when they get there, they're tired. They grab a bite to eat and they walk back one of these buck bedding corridors or continue down the transition, and they go back to bed. And it's a real slow, mentality. They're kind of wore out because they've been out on the field, right? Or playing field all night. Then in the evening, it's just the opposite. 9 times out of 10, what you'll find, guys, is these bucks come to these spots and their ears are up in the evening. They water and maybe grab a bite to eat, like I said, and when they leave, 9 times out of 10, 8 or 9 times out of 10, they trot away from these locations and they're going out on the transition. They're going out to check the does. It's kind of a recharge spot, right? So when I started using these, that's what it reminded me of, is kind of a bullpen, calling the bullpen. And when them pitchers come out of the bullpen and they run out on the playing field, right? And it's game time. And that's exactly what this is. And like I said, that's what it reminded me of, hence the name bullpen. So they have to be kept small, guys. You have to get correct sunlight to them. You can tell it's 7:30 here this morning. And yesterday when I was here and I was doing this, I was here 2 or 3 hours on, and it had sunlight on it the whole time. So you always want to make sure on it, like any plot, you know, look on the southern side, and if you got to cut a tree down or you got to do some hack and squirting on that side, get some daylight to them, because they're not very big. I build them about a tenth or 2/10 or something like that, right? I have built them like 2 or 3/10, but the bigger you get them, the more inviting you make them, the more does will, you know, use them, and then you have a chance of, you know, blowing deer out when you come into them and getting away from them. So as you can tell, these corridors, guys, are this, and there's no doe bedding around here, right? So these corridors that lead out, I put them, it's 100 yards from the tree stand. So them buck bedding pockets, so these buck bedding corridors that go out into them are 75 yards from the licking branch, right? Licking branch is 25 yards from you, 25 yards, and those pockets lay back another 75 yards, putting them, the bucks, back in the core, on the core side about 100 yards. And so that allows you to get in here and get out. What you don't want to do is you don't want to come in here and build or promote any doe bedding right on this, you know, within this first 100-yard rim, like you would on a normal food plot. Then if you do that, it becomes a food plot because there's does here. The does take it over, and you don't have the same reaction to these, and you definitely can't get in and out of them without blowing deer. So remember, no hinge cutting on the side of them. You can hinge cut the corridors that go out there, but don't start, you know, don't start the hinge cut for another 25-30 yards outside. Just kill cut trees each side of it out. And then what you do, guys, is then you can hinge cut or make a pocket, right? Take the canopy away from a pocket out there. Maybe you're a hinge cut candidate, maybe you're not, but all of them tie back into here. And then so you've got the transition that comes right up the hill here on the contour line, goes around, and then you've got these 3 spurs, and they all point, they all pinch right back here into the point of impact. Pretty powerful piece here, guys. I just wanted to share this one with you. So this year, going into this season, if you have a buck that's kind of, you know, unsociable, and you need to find a way to kill him or to get on him before he gets out to the food source or starts checking does, this is where you're going to shoot those bucks, guys. Not on the food plots, but you're going to kill them here before they get to those does. Very, very powerful piece of the puzzle. Keep it small, little. This one here is just 30 yards by 30 yard circle, right? Keep it small, keep it simple. Don't invite the does to it, guys. And implement a bullpen on your property this year. Could be the most powerful piece of the whole property that you have. Just remember, don't bring the does to it. Leave it to the bucks. If it's between 2 food sources, you know, the nearest food source from here is 250, 300 yards down the transition. It's a very secluded piece of the property. It might even be a piece of property that, you know, you don't get into until the pre-rut or the rut, right? You just let it cook. You're not in here overdoing it. Silent in, silent out. Don't know you're here. And they're a huge, huge deal, guys. Bullpens. Hopefully you guys can implement one of these this year. And this is kind of how you build them. Hand tools that you don't have to, you know, overdo it. Like you see here, guys. I come in with my little 4320 John Deere. I cut the, you know, just stumped it here. Or I cut the trees off, left the stumps in. Got the backpack blower in here, and I'm blowing all of the, you know, to the outside, and I've got some of these here that I'll hit with the weed eater or the trimmer and take that stuff down. And we're just going to put rye and clover in here next year. We're probably going to, when I get this mulched, I'm going to come in here and we'll you know, hit this with the mulcher and put some of that, you know, organic matter back on here from the stumps. Kind of a neat project here, guys, and they're very, very attractive. Just remember, don't overdo it. Keep them small, and you can experience a bullpen effect this year too. Thanks, guys.